I want to build Lego with my friend Robbie together.
That's a creative way to open the door. This guy's coming over, we're gonna talk about creativity, and I got a lot of questions about creativity. What is creativity? I get that's like a weird amorphous thing to everybody, but I wanna see if he's got a different take than I do. I am creative, sometimes. The muse, the like divine inspiration, I don't know, I think it's just your brain farting a bunch, and then you catch it farting. Oh, what is that? And then you kind of investigate. And that to me is creativity. Robbie is an interesting fellow. He used to be a master Lego builder. That just blows my mind in general. He wrote a symphony. I didn't even know people still did that. There's a lot of aspects of creativity that touches everything he does. And I think he's gonna have a unique and different take on creativity than I do. I hope that he can answer every question I have about creativity.
So you worked for Lego as a master Lego.
Yeah, I worked at Legoland as a master model builder for 3 years.
How was that?
It was cool. It was like your dream job as a kid. Like, I'm just gonna go play with Lego all day. I had this love for building and this love for creating new things, and it didn't transfer to like a job that was very corporate minded.
How do you even get that job?
Well, I applied 3 times in a year.
Cool.
And once I started teaching summer camps that took place at the theme park at Legoland, California, I got to know some people in HR where I was able to kind of make myself known as, hey, I'm interested in the cool job, which is kind of how they described it to me. They're like, oh, you're here for the cool job.
Like, it's like the dream job of any 11-year-old, I think.
I think so,
You literally held the job.
Totally.
Top of the tops.
Totally.
I mean, I had one that I guess would also be the 11-year-old dream where I worked at Playboy.
Okay.
And so it's a different 11-year-old dream.
Certainly.
But when you start building stuff, how does that whole process work?
So for me, I'm looking for inspiration in this pile, and I'm not finding it. So I'm just gonna start doing things until I find something that catches my eye. Right now, I'm just like working with colors. I started with red. I didn't really find anything with the color red. I personally, I feel like there's no such thing as like bad or ugly colors. I think it's all just sort of the context in which you use them. There aren't really any bad Lego bricks. Like, there were Lego bricks that I wasn't allowed to use as a Lego designer. Like something like this tree. Like, I would be more encouraged to build it out of individual bricks and plates.
Yeah, but the tree's already done.
But it's already done.
It's already done.
Yeah, but
Ready to go.
There's no creativity in that.
I mean,
It's
so
a tree.
Lego is providing that.
So Lego is providing us with a tree.
They're saying you have to make the creativity around the tree.
Yeah, and that's what I think is beautiful about the Lego system in general is it's a system of creativity and construction and spatial recognition and everything, but it's also a system of play. This isn't anything until you add something else to it, and now it's a duck. So the thing is, like, the Lego system can be creative for that way, but it's also creative in the way you play with it.
And I still have this feeling that I did when I was playing Legos with my brothers, which is like the actual thing I make, I don't care. I don't care to like put the thought process into it. Like this, I'd be done, and that's enough.
Your brain favored the play and didn't necessarily favor.
I was just like, cool, it's close enough to a spaceship, I'm gonna just like ram it into something, or let like a G.I. Joe kick it until it falls apart. So do you see the world differently now?
I don't know if I'd say I see the world differently. When I'm like driving down the freeway and I see a car that goes by me, I sort of, I wonder how I would design that out of Lego.
It's a weird headspace to be in. I like it. I like it, but I feel like for me it would just break my brain. By the way, I'm making a home for disabled warriors. It's not entirely easy access yet, but I am making it much better. So if you don't have legs, it's all right, you can still fight. You don't have a head, it's all right. That's how I play Legos. Is this correct?
That's a bit ephemeral.
Isn't all creativity ephemeral till it's not? You know, like it's all just like a bunch of weird, lofty farts of thought. And I don't know why I keep describing them as farts. This is the second time I've called them fart thoughts or thought farts.
The play is equally as creative as the construction. You know, you can't discount the fact that you just created this entire world out of something that I would have just seen and taken apart.
You saying this is take apartable? Because this to me,
it's Lego. It's all.
I guess you can take it all apart. Well, you're building. Can I play you a song on my piano?
Sure. Oh boy.
I want to build Lego with my friend Robbie. We'll build it together. I think this might be a way of showing people that just because you suck at something doesn't mean it can't be creative or art. So now that we've created these beautiful objects, and I created you a beautiful song.
You did.
I'd like to create something together and see what we do with creativity when we toss it back and forth. Robbie's a super cool dude. I want to see how he views the world and how I view the world, and how creativity works for the two of us. I want to see how that meshes together. You know, I think a poem, it's like an intimate thing. You got to be a little bit vulnerable and know that it's going to be weird and stupid, because that's what poems are. They're just fun, vulnerable, weird, stupid words. You really never wrote a poem ever?
Never written a poem before.
This is blowing my mind. To me, poetry is just whatever you, like, write for feeling. And if you don't want to write a feeling or how you're feeling or thought, like, just like start typing. That'll get you going somewhere. And then in the middle of a sentence, just go to the next line. That's the key to my poetry. Halfway through a sentence, be like, I'll just put it on the next line. Bam. Let's write something to or for or about someone you love. Or I'll even say something. It doesn't have to be a person. It could just be something that you have the most amount of love for.
Are we gonna read these poems to each other at the end?
You're goddamn
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah. The whole point of poetry is you get weirdly vulnerable because it feels weird. It feels like singing a song in front of someone, but without any music to hide behind. Okay. Don, where you at?
Equally done.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I started writing mine, and I'm like, this is probably gonna get me in trouble. So I'll start. Do you want me to start? Or you want to start?
You
How
can
do
start.
you feel?
You can start, please. You've probably done.
I've actually never read poetry aloud to anyone.
Oh, okay. So we're
outside of outside of my house. These moments we expect to understand what we're thinking about the other person, but that's not always how it goes. Love isn't always on the same page, but maybe it can always at least be in the same book.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, my wife and I were kind of like, not fighting, but you know when you like get home and you're like, man, we are not connecting today. That was like 2 or 3 days ago. And I was like, I feel like that was the first thing that came to my head, where like, it sucks to not connect right off the bat with someone, and like, especially when you live with someone and you've been with them for so long. Sorry, Bailey. I love you a bunch. You know, sometimes you get off the same page, you know, but same book. You know, we'll see how that goes.
Mine doesn't have a title.
Good.
I didn't think of that until you said yours didn't have a title. It's about one of my friends.
Okay.
I'll drink to that again. This time will be different. If I knew, I wouldn't have to ask. You don't have to spill just because you opened up.
That one gets me. That's like every dude's. I don't know if your friend's a dude, but it sounds it sounds like where you get those dudes where it's like, sorry, I haven't said that. Shut up. I like it. That's your first poem. How does it feel?
I definitely preferred reading it out loud to writing it. Although I didn't not enjoy writing it. I enjoyed writing it, but it wasn't until I read it out loud that it sort of, this is what I wanted to say. When I was writing it, there was 4 different ways I could have gone, and I felt like this ambiguity, but when I read it, it's like, okay, this is what it is now. Having
that prompt helps or doesn't help?
I feel like it helped me get started.
This is the part of creativity that gets kind of weird to me, is that I just started typing because, okay, we got nothing, let's just go.
Yeah.
And we didn't have time to plan these.
That's sort of how my brain felt with the Lego experiment. Was
really?
I don't know what I'm doing, so let's just start putting things together.
Yeah, that's how, I mean, but like that, I feel like I felt at home doing this. This feels like my home.
I felt more at home doing that.
Really? Okay. It felt nice.
Yeah, I didn't hate that.
Hey, that's, you know, when you're making art, I didn't hate it is better. Like, that's like,
it's true.
Way up there.
A lot of artists are unhappy with their art. I mean, I'm not unhappy with this. I think I like the experience more than I like the results.
Yeah.
But I like the experience.
But I think like art is part of the experience too, right? And creativity is like just because there's like a lot of running things happening up in your brain before it even gets out to the paper.
I feel like I just got off stage.
Really?
Like I have that little bit of like post-performance jitteriness of like having to expose something that I created to an audience. And right now the audience is cameras and Alex and our typewriters. And I sometimes even get that when I'm by myself in my bedroom playing music, is like you get the post-performance glow a little bit. And I have that a little bit right now. And now I want to go home and write a poem and see if I get that by myself.
Alone?
Or if it's more the performance aspect that I'm feeling that I'm feeling that.
Oh, that's
about.
a good question. Do you feel any different about creativity? Because I came into this hoping to learn some stuff about creativity, so I want to see how you feel.
I feel different in that I've always been relatively reserved, and I've always wanted to create in the mediums that I feel comfortable in, because I know the results that I'm going to get. Maybe I don't know the music I'm going to get, but I know the feeling I'm going to get from the music, where the poetry has sort of put me in a place that I can enjoy creating without knowing anything about it. Some people just need a little bit of a push into ignore the craft and concentrate on the art.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was doing. I was ignoring, grammar, capitalization, things like that. Things that I don't know, do you capitalize poems? Do you get a new line for a stanza? Like, I don't know these things. I don't know the craft. So I ignored the craft and I concentrated on the art part of it, and I really enjoyed that still.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think for me, I don't think I ever thought about the craft as the aspect of the creativity. For me, it's always been like, what is the output? Like, I don't care how you get there, like, can you get something that someone else enjoys? Like, that's how I view any form of my creativity, of like, how can I put something out there that someone's like, I didn't hate that, which is, I think it's like the best praise. Of like, that didn't suck, And so for me, like, seeing it from your point of view is actually a real fun way of like, how do I work within the bounds I've been giving, instead of just telling someone to fuck off and be like, don't you give me no borders, like, get out of here. So it's like a new way for me to even just look at that.
This has been a fun experience.
Good, thank you so much. I thought Robbie and I were just gonna play Legos, and then that was it, but it's been a couple days, and something that I took out of my chat with Robbie, and I've been using it, and it's working within the box. When I was a kid, the first time I heard think outside the box, I was like, that's a box. They drew someone on the outside of the box on the whiteboard, and they're thinking outside the box. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I love this, even though now that I think about it, it's like, it's really stupid. These birds are always in the backyard. They're so loud. And at first I was thinking, man, these birds, like, what's their deal? And then I was thinking, what if they're thinking, man, this human is so loud? The more I think about my chat with Robbie, thinking inside the box and like doing well and working within the parameters that you're given and doing the best that you can and making something new and beautiful from, a limited resource, that's cool. I didn't think about it like that. I wish that I did, and I knew about it. I just, for some reason, never thought about it like that. I have a playlist down below. I'd like you to check it out. It's just full of all the creators on YouTube who I think are just doing stuff that's just blowing my mind and just using their creativity to its fullest. If you want to leave a comment, I think it'd be really fun to just leave some poems. Be vulnerable, be strange, be weird. If you want a prompt, let me know and I'll put some prompts down there. But let's be weird. Let's have fun. Let's write some poetry. If you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate it. If not, I get it. Everyone's busy. Your life is your life. If for some reason you wanted to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, it's @thatlaymanguy. I'm really glad I got to chat with Robbie. I had a lot of fun. And thanks for watching.